In the dense rainforest of Gabon, one of the largest and most nimble of the primates makes its home. The western lowland gorilla. Though they can weigh as much as 400 pounds, these gorillas can easily scale trees almost 200 feet high. Leaves and fruits from nearly 100 species of trees are the staple of their diet. But for one gorilla, life within this vertical world is especially challenging. This young male lost one of his arms when he was just 2 years old. How can he hope to survive where agility and strength are vital to a life among the treetops? The Gabonese Republic lies on the equator, off the Atlantic coast of Africa. This is the world's second largest rainforest, after the Amazon in South America. Here, the air is extremely humid, with an average annual temperature of around 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And almost 60 inches of rain a year. Branches grow in every direction, preventing sunlight from reaching the ground. The floor of this rainforest is always in shadow, even during the day. The forest teems with life, with over 670 species of birds, like this black-cast hornbill, and over 200 mammals, including the shy forest elephant, the largest creature in these forests, but the smallest of all elephants. Professor Yuichi Yamagiwa of Kyoto University is an expert on gorillas. He began his fieldwork on these primates nearly 30 years ago, studying them all across Africa. In Gabon, he's been tracking one particular gorilla family for 9 years. Now he's back to check on their progress. The bark of this branch has been peeled by a gorilla. He also finds a half-eaten piece of fruit. Is it really a nut? The western lowland gorilla is secretive and shy, hidden deep within these dense tropical forests. The bark of a gorilla echoes across the forest. Yamagiwa begins a low grunt, imitating the greeting sound of a male. He doesn't want the gorillas to feel threatened. The team spots a male, a western lowland gorilla. These primates are the largest tree climbers in the forest. Navigating the branches of African teak and other trees with ease. Scientists believe that gorillas know from experience which branches can support their weight. This gorilla balances its heavy weight on a single branch.
両腕はね、フリーやん。なんか捕まってるわけではない。ね、これだって枝取って折って食べてるでしょ。すごいですよね。だからやっぱまさに木の上のゴリラだな。
The team needs to go deeper into the forest in search of the family. They're close. Yamagiwa approaches cautiously, uttering a low grunting sound. He doesn't want to frighten the ape. Six mothers and their offspring. The mothers all come from different troops, but the young are all Papa Gentile's offspring. Under the guidance and protection of the dominant male, a gorilla family always stays and moves together. Every day, they walk around 1.5 miles in search of fruit, leaves, and even termites. this gorilla simply pulls the neighboring tree closer and hops on. This way, he doesn't need to go down the way he came up. A mother with an infant shifts her weight toward a neighboring tree, causing her tree to bend. She easily moves from one tree to the next, with baby clinging tightly. But one member of the family is missing from among the trees, Dodo, a 6-year-old male. 4 years ago, Dodo was a feisty youngster, imitating his father in a show of power. Though just weaned from his mother, he was still dependent upon her for milk. Then, Dodo was attacked by a male outside of the family, trying to steal Dodo's mother for a mate. The gorilla who took his mother away most likely saw Dodo as a nuisance and attacked him. Dodo lost both his mother and his right arm. Shortly after the attack, Dodo was covered in cuts and was missing his right arm just below the elbow. Without his mother's milk, Dodo's chances were slim.
多分持たないなと最初は思ってました。ところがびっくりしたことに生き残ったし元気になっていくんだよね。それは類人猿しかできないと思う。
The family travels in the open grassland between two forests. They're an easy target for predators or hunters. They need to cross as quickly as possible. The family could have abandoned Dodo, but chose instead to protect and nurture the injured youngster. Yamagiwa believes this show of deep compassion is what keeps the entire family strong and safe. But can a gorilla with such a handicap make it in a world so dependent upon climbing? In fact, not all gorillas inhabit dense rainforests. Their cousin, the mountain gorilla, makes the ground its home. They frequently inhabit the slopes of dormant volcanoes, living at high altitudes where tall fruit trees rarely grow. These primates are herbivores that feed on plants and grass. How did the two different species come to live in such different environments? The territory of the western lowland gorilla is the lowland tropical rainforest near the western coast of Africa. 1,200 miles east are the mountains of Central Africa, home to the mountain gorilla. Over 20 million years ago, African tropical rainforests covered a much wider area than today. Around 10 million years ago, a massive geological shift deep within the continent's crust made the land of East Africa begin to rise and crack. This trench became an enormous valley. Magma pushed to the surface, creating a gorge nearly 2 miles deep. This was the birth of the Great Rift Valley. These newly created high elevations caused dramatic changes in climate. East Africa, which had been covered in rich tropical rainforest, dried up. The forest disappeared. The mountain gorilla began eating grass, while the lowland gorillas continued to forage for food in the trees. Their tree-climbing lifestyle, the same as their ancestors, never needed to change. Western lowland gorillas spend several hours of the morning eating. They'll take a break in the middle of the day, then eat again until dusk. It's late August, the height of the dry season. Yamagiwa searches through the forest looking for places that Papa Gentile might bring the family. He finds something. The next day, the team gets results. An ape arrives, but it's not a gorilla. It's a chimpanzee. Just like gorillas, they love this fruit. Halfway through its meal, something in the bushes grabs its attention. The chimp decides not to stick around. 1 minute later, the gorilla family arrives. Papa Gentile barks and scurries in the direction of the chimpanzee. The youngster that arrived first had noticed the chimpanzee. When it tried to move closer to it, Papa Gentile made a dash. Papa Gentile went to stop the youngster from going anywhere near the chimpanzee. There's no particular hostility between gorillas and chimpanzees, but they tend to keep each other in check because they both forage for the same fruit. Now, the family is ready to eat. An infant clings securely to its mother. Next, it's Papa Gentile's turn. Because this tree is so slender with fewer branches, only the mother and Papa Gentile make the climb. This mother's infant, the youngest of the troop, is not even 2 months old. Priority is given to a nursing mother who needs to consume more to maintain her milk supply. For Papa Gentile, so much fruit in one place is a special treat. Full-grown males need to eat about 45 pounds of food per day. And Dodo's got plenty to keep him happy. He's developed his own way of foraging, and he's got a healthy appetite. There's a reason why so much fruit is falling. When eating, using their powerful strength, gorillas often break off entire branches. Dodo continues picking up fruit until Papa Gentile comes down. Then, the family heads off. As they move through the forest, something's different. This time, instead of lagging behind the rest of the troop, Dodo's in among the leaders. He seems determined to hold his own within the family, and Papa Gentile and the others seem just as determined to keep him strong. Yamagiwa has seen signs that Dodo has been making progress, but he wants to find more evidence that Dodo has a chance to survive into young adulthood. Yamagiwa and the team see the family just ahead. Dodo is with a sibling. As the team tries to move closer, they can feel tension. The gorillas are on alert. One of the mothers starts howling. Then Papa Gentile dashes towards the team. He's warning them not to come any closer. Although the family splits up when climbing trees, on the ground they stick together. Papa Gentile is ready to guard his troop at any cost. Yamagiwa and his team want to know why the family seems so agitated. A mother and her baby pass by the camera. They don't seem to notice it. The cameras show a different story. A leopard appears. Leopards are the gorilla's only wild predator. This could be why Papa Gentile and the family were so tense and aggressive. The next morning, at the research camp, there's another ominous sign. A gorilla appears from behind a cabin, a full-grown male, alone. They advertise their strength through their unique chest-beating displays. Solitary gorillas pick out mature females living with their family. Sometimes they will try to steal a female. They can even attack infants or youngsters in order to abduct a female. This is what happened to Dodo. And another attack on Papa Gentile's family could prove very dangerous for the vulnerable Dodo. It's now mid-September. The 3-month-long dry season is nearing its end. It's the first rain in a long while. Large raindrops moisten the forest foliage. After the rain, flowers grow brighter. The sky clears and the gorilla family resumes eating. As the rainy season approaches, the fruit becomes sweeter and more plentiful. All the gorillas in the family are picking fruit in the trees. All except one. Dodo is sitting below, alone. This time, there's very little fruit lying on the ground. He's been sitting there for some time, but then he gets up. He goes further up. This is the evidence Yamagiwa has been looking for.
Dodo は自分のハンディキャップを背負った体でどうやったら近い技術を身につけることができるかってことを考えたはずです。それで他の子どもたちとそれほど引けを取らないような行動をすることができるようになった。 それはドドの努力です。しかもドドの知能ですね。だから自分の創造性と、そして他の仲間の気遣い、この両方があってドドは生き延びることができた、そう思います。
It's been 4 years since Dodo was attacked and lost his arm. He's developed and mastered a great many skills a young gorilla needs to survive in the rainforest. Perseverance and a keen intelligence have brought Dodo a long way. But his greatest strength may be from the strong support of his father and the rest of his family. Their encouragement and compassion will give Dodo the best chance to flourish in this tropical world high in the treetops, in one of the densest and most wild places on Earth.